that you get into when you start talking about TRME. In the long term, it is meant to keep your body healthier. That's why looking good, feeling good. That's what it is. So let's go with that. Yeah. So this is the engineering, just to show you. The scanner, the Prism, was developed because of the previous scanner that we call S3, but it's more than that, because in addition, over the last 20 years, we have collected a lot of data, all right, scientific data, not just on the number, the score, but also lifestyle changes in that person. Millions of data points. So naturally, we want to know whether there's any connection with all these facts that we have collected and scientific evidence. And we couldn't do that manually because no human being can physically analyze millions of data points until AI came. And when AI came, we were able to throw all the data into an algorithm, we call it, driven by AI, and that's where we saw the translation happening, or the correlation. That the score actually meant is an indicator of nutritional health. That's what we call, on the right side, the Raman technology, or the Raman database. Are you following me so far? Yeah. That connection? Okay? It's very similar. I'll tell you why this translation is so profound, and it's not something that anybody can do. None of our competitors can do that. Some of the more knowledgeable people say, oh, yeah, there's another device out there can also measure this carotenoid thing. You know? Yeah. You know, nothing special about this thing, and so on and so forth, right? Well, no. Yes, they can measure it, but they can't find out the meaning. They don't have this database. So they don't have this algorithm. You know, AI, all of you are so proud, right? You go out and say, oh, this AI is going to change the world. Do you know what's the meaning of AI? Really? Do you know AI doesn't work if it doesn't have data? You know where the data are coming from? It's coming from the web. Ever since the launch of the web, they have billions of data points. That's how AI works. No data, no AI. Still don't believe me, huh? When you were born, right? You were born with a brain. Betul, right? You got a brain, right? How come you're not instantly a genius?
No data.
Why does your mother have to teach you how to speak? Whether it's Bahasa or whether it's Chinese or whatever, you learn by listening to your parents.
Yes.
Then you go to school. Why did you have to go to school? Well, your mother said, oh yeah, you have to get educated, huh? Really? Get educated? What does that mean? Educated. You're putting data into your brain. Same thing. The computer program is like a brain. It remains stupid if it doesn't have data. Anyway, so that's really what it's all about, AI. And that's what we're doing with this one. We took that and it's AI driven. Prism is actually an AI device. Right? Yes, it's measuring antioxidant, but we did the translation. That's the important thing. And we have validated it because there's one thing that you can measure. It's like a ruler, or what we call a gold standard in the blood. You can measure this antioxidants in the blood and so on. It's very specific, the technology for measuring that. And we can do that. We compare, we always get a one-to-one correlation. What you see when it goes up in the skin, you actually see it going up in the blood as well. So no difference in that sense. And all this diet and lifestyle, right? The bad things you do, coming back, honestly. In a sense, our product, insofar as, for example, Life Pack, you don't have to take Life Pack if you have a perfect diet. And what's the perfect diet? Lots of fruits and vegetables, lots of colorful things you eat, not just char kway teow. Okay? And not even just nasi lemak. Okay? Eat more vegetables, and so on and so forth, right? You have to eat a comprehensive. Taekwondo is not bad, but if you keep on eating that, you are missing out on all the nutritious, the micronutrient value that you can get from vegetables and fruits and so on. You sort of instinctively and intuitively know that, because you always try to eat those fruits too, after a meal in that sense. But eat more of them. So that's what, those things will get your nutritional health up. If you don't eat good, you go the other way. The reality is, right, you don't need to take life back if you truly follow what is needed. But we don't eat enough of it. Time and time again, scientific studies throughout the world show nobody, if I measure all your vitamins and all the minerals in your blood, I cannot find a single person that can satisfy what we call the recommended daily allowance levels, right? And that's why life pack is required. Another example of our products. It's called a supplement, right?
Yes.
It's not called a replacement. It's not called a substitution. It's called supplement. It's supporting. That's the reality. And that's why when I find certain companies, in a way, coming out and say, wow, I got this magic bullet. I said, what magic bullet? Oh, this product will cure everything. No. It's hard. It sort of stretches the belief system. And again, this is approved in a sense. When you use the prism, now we've got antioxidant. Remember, I've already translated nutritional health. Okay? Now is the beginning of another translation, and this is a key. This is the breakthrough. And this is what we're going to do and take you through now. So we already know you can improve. For example, with life pack, you can show that the score goes up. So we did a study in Stanford. And at Stanford, you know this university, right? You know the one in San Francisco, right? Yeah. Pay a lot of money to go to that fancy university. And sometimes when people graduate from them, they think they are the geniuses. Usually not, but never mind. So anyway, so we did a study at Stanford Medical School, and what we show is that we look at their features, no problem. It was a skin study, actually. And then we said, why don't we take some of their blood from all these individuals and analyze for a particular kind of genetic change. The fancy word is epigenetic change. All right? And I'll tell you the meaning of what that epigenetic changes relate to. But stay with me right now. So it's a genetic analysis that we did on the blood. So when the results came out, we matched the results from each person to a low PRISM score group versus a high PRISM score group. And what we saw is amazing, because what we saw was the fact that epigenetic changes told us that every tissue out of those 11 systems that we measured, they were getting younger.
Wow.
4 years younger on the average.
Wow.
Right? On the average, I'm going to show you on the next slide, it's 4 years younger in that sense. So it's unmistakable